You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Gossip Girl After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Gossip Girl After Show.
What up, AfterBuzzers? Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another AfterBuzz TV After Show for Gossip Girl. Oh, I was hoping it would say it when I said it. Gossip Girl Season 6, the final season, Episode 8. It's really complicated. But before we do anything else, I'm Roxy Striar, along with Sara Stretton.
Hello.
And we're missing Jessica King.
It's so sad. We have so little time left. I need her here.
I know, we've got 2 episodes left. She's missing this one, although we'll give her a break because she decided to be a good wife and drive her hubby to the airport. So I was like, okay, that's sweet. He's going out of town, you know. But if you guys want to send her hate mail anyway, that's fine, you know.
She should be here.
So, Sarah, tell us how you really felt about this episode.
I was so bored in this episode that I fell asleep.
And then I tried to come back and say, it wasn't boring. And then we tried to think about what we were going to talk about tonight, and I was like, well, I guess we'll talk about Thanksgiving.
Which is, what, the end of the episode?
Really was the entire show. It was just Thanksgiving. I feel like my family Thanksgiving was more interesting than this Thanksgiving, although apparently it was so dramatic. Ooh. No, there were, okay.
There you go.
Boom. There were good moments, and we're going to talk about them begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly. I mean, I've never fallen asleep in a Gossip Girl episode, so I was, like, kind of taken back.
Maybe you're just really tired.
Maybe. That could be it.
But we're so summery today. I feel like we can't be tired. We have to be vibrant and summery and
Ready.
ready to go.
In the middle of December.
I know, both of us in our colors. I just am not ready for it to get cold yet. But New York, here I come. I'm going there soon, and I don't know how the Gossip Girls stay fashionable in such cold weather. It's tough.
It's called television.
It's a tough life. Yeah, that's true. They don't really give a shit about the weather on the TV. Okay, so let's start. Honestly, we're just going to break it down the way that Phil hates us to do, but chronologically, he said that he was going to come in and spend 25 minutes with us, so if he's not here, we're death. Something bad.
We could punch him in the face. Directly in the nose.
Shake on it. Shake on it. Before we actually got on air, I was showing Stretton pictures of me when I used to be blonde. So I'm just thinking about.
I was so confused.
I'm just thinking about fun things that have happened today. Anyway, let's move on to talk about Gossip Girl. So we've got Thanksgiving. The episode airs in December. Immediately, I'm thrown off. Thanksgiving in December? Bizarre.
Yeah, Thanksgiving disappears the day after.
Sandy, we get it. We get that you pushed everything back, but it was a little bit awkward. Oh, look who's come to join us. Could it be the Phil that we've been waiting for?
I promised you that I would make it, and I'll give you guys 25 minutes. I can't give you 25 minutes, more like 2.5 minutes, but...
Okay, well then in these 2.5 glorious minutes we have favorite moments and least favorite moments of the episode.
Okay, first I just have to say that he texted me saying that he'd be here for 25 minutes, and then I walked in today and he said he would be here for 15 minutes, and now he's in here and he's saying he'll be here for 2.5. So where do your loyalties lie, Phil?
Can we make the most of my time? Let's talk about the Nate punch to Dan.
I knew that was
Okay, why? That was your favorite moment of the episode?
Yeah, because it wasn't expected. What made it worse was, hey, that was from all of us. You know what? Because I actually sided with Serena, you know, and that whole crew.
Why do you sound so surprised?
Why do I sound surprised? Because you know what? Because I think we give too much credit to Dan most of the time. And sure, he's a great writer and things like that. And they had that great moment of like, you know, women like that, they're never going to go for guys for us. They, you know, essentially what he was saying, they only want money. They don't care about all the poetry and things like that. And that's all great and whatever. But at the end of the day, he's just pessimist.
You're not into Lonely Boy.
I'm not into Lonely Boy.
Okay, because he's
I used to be Lonely Boy. Maybe that was, I used to be Lonely Boy, and then...
Really what this is that Phil doesn't want to be looked at as the jerk. Is that what it is?
I'm not a jerk. No, because here's the thing. Dan always puts these people through a looking glass, and, you know, he always says, oh, you know, you guys never really... bring me into the inner circle. Bring me into the inner circle. Well, what have you done to bring yourself into the inner circle?
And,
okay,
yeah,
and
it was like what his dad was saying.
Is he really not in the inner circle? Like, he's been in these people's lives for how long?
But it was true what he was saying to Serena. He was like, listen, you don't look at me as an equal, and she really never has.
Does she look at anyone as an equal?
I think she doesn't look at people as if they're lower. I think she looks at them as different, but like Blair, she definitely doesn't think she's above her.
All right, here was the biggest thing for me, right? The number one kind of conflict between Serena and Dan tonight was the fact that there was this, you know, the ex-boyfriend, right? Steven. And, you know, they had a whole kind of, not an argument, but a mini argument, right? But at that moment, Serena really stood up for Dan, and she said, you know, he's not the rebound, you're the rebound. Get out of my life.
Wah, wah. I mean, as a guy, if somebody was to tell you that, he's not the rebound, you're the rebound, are you ever going to give them a second shot? Okay. Phil made me mad. Let's kill the fucker.
Thanks for swearing.
What is this?
Yes. What
are we looking at?
Steven put up a photo on our display and just broke the conversation essentially.
Wait, but what was that picture of?
Me as a baby. Let's just say it was me as a baby.
Was that you as a baby?
No, it wasn't. But back to the conversation, please.
Anyway, okay, so Serena looking down on people, I don't think she typically does. Everybody looks down on Dan. I do think he's still seen as the outsider. He's the only one who isn't called by his initial, and he's called by Lonely Boy. And Phil, I mean, Phil moved to LA and bought new shoes and is doing this whole tanning thing and is killing it at this company and is working his butt off and getting girls and making money, and now you're not Lonely Boy anymore. So how does it feel to be in the in crowd?
Here's what it feels like. You realize something along the... As a writer, you feel like the only way I can write, or the way I can be an artist, because I know Sarah wants to be an actress, and I know you want to be an actress as well, but you're now a reality star, so you're out of that equation for now. No, the fact is that you feel like you need to be depressed in order to be an artist, but you don't. You know, you can actually have a good life.
Because I don't want to be depressed.
Yeah, you can have a good life, and I think that's what Dan ultimately struggles is, you know, if I get in this inner circle, then my art will suffer, right? Everyone loves my art because, ooh, I'm so cool. And I could look at it differently, and you could still look at it differently because you've always had that perspective. I don't know.
I get what you're saying. It's like you feel that you have to be self-deprecating and punish yourself in order to make beautiful work.
That's right.
But really, you could just as easily be happy and loving life and brighten people's days.
And loving Serena instead of being self-loathing and annoying. Thank you.
His writing could be just as good, writing a piece about her, about how amazing she is, but he would rather tear apart the Upper East Side. Even though he wants to be part of it, he wants to tear it apart.
Yes, and he wants to rip apart Serena and say she's all these horrible things, but that doesn't mean anything he said to her was a lie.
I didn't understand that, so...
Because he told her he, like, loved her and, like, wanted to be there.
But that's the way she was. And why would he love somebody that... What were the things that he said about her? The chapter was called...
Like something about...
Serena Vanderwoodson, Golden Girl Falls from Grace, a faux love story. So we can only assume that he published a story about how he, like, pretended to be back with her and all the bad things she's done, right?
Yeah, and it was very much about how she was, like, a hollow, like, shell of a person. And
which, I'm sorry, is she not?
Again, I go back to the Steven moment because she actually was genuine in that moment, whereas Dan, you know, he kind of had that moment of, like, you know, he said like, yes, I actually love her, and I don't want to destroy. With what the hell's her name?
With Georgina, that was
That's
the
it.
craziest part. Georgina says, do you want to win or do you just want to win Serena? And he says back, there is no winning without Serena, which was the moment that I was like, oh, he's going to publish the love story and how amazing she is. But then after he says that, he publishes the piece about how empty she is. And I didn't understand that. He literally, his line is, there is no winning without Serena.
Maybe
So
he
what are you-
loves empty people.
But then he says to his dad at the end, he says, I had a plan. I've always had a plan.
and it's
I have
working.
a plan. I have a plan. I've had a plan this whole time, and it's working. So what the hell does that mean? What is his plan?
Oh, we don't know. We'll find out in approximately 2 episodes because that's when we have to find out.
That's all we have left.
We have
Don't say that.
We have next week, and we have the week after. And right now, I'm not even sure I'm going to be here for the very finale, which is like the most devastating. So next week could be my last week in Gossip Girl studio, crying my eyes out.
I don't like this.
We're gonna have to figure
Now
this out.
I'm gonna be a depressed artist.
All right, I gotta get out of here
Maybe
before we have the heads of Akamai coming, and I don't want seeing me host Gossip Girl. Not that I love Gossip Girl.
Are you ashamed?
No, I'm not ashamed.
Roxy, the truth is, he'd be crying if you weren't here.
That's actually true. But I do have to get out of here. But thank you guys for letting me be a part of this.
We'll miss you.
I'll miss you guys.
Aw. Bye, Phil.
We need to get Steven to start watching Gossip Girl, even though there are only 2 episodes left, because we need a male perspective on this stuff all the time, and you can't really give us that male perspective from the booth over there if you don't watch the show.
I can give you some kind of male perspective, but not exactly about the show. I guess I'd just be like, oh, I don't agree with that. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe we'll try to shoot you some questions if we need our
General
token guy.
questions.
Yeah. Okay.
About
Anyway,
love and life and happiness.
so just good thing that we didn't decide to talk about specific topics because Phil comes in here and a whole mess of this is what we're talking about, acting like he runs shit. Oh wait, he does. Why do I think I'm so funny?
I was just say making yourself laugh.
But anyway, can you talk to me still? Let's finish up this topic about Dan. What's going on that he says there's this plan? Yes, we're going to find out in a couple episodes, but do you think he really does love Serena at least and he wants to be with her? Or is there something more going on here? What's up?
I was really confused. I was really confused because what he was saying made it seem like he did love Serena and he did want to be with her, but he was also standing behind what he wrote. So maybe he wants her to become a better person because he loves her? I don't know. I'm so confused. I don't know what this plan is, except for the fact that this all culminates in a final chapter. And I'm wondering if this final chapter is about Dan himself.
I was thinking it was going to be definitely about Dan, which would be what his plan was, showing that they're all...
And maybe writing bad about his own self.
Right.
And putting himself as an equal to all the other people that he's destroyed and through these articles.
Exactly. And what it takes to be a writer or something like Phil was saying. I don't know, but we'll see, I guess, with this the final chapter. He sat and typed
He did
it.
look good in this episode.
What did he say? Yeah, he
looked
just
good.
typed it. It just said the final chapter.
Yes.
That's how we ended the episode. See, Phil messed us all up. Now we're at the end of the episode. Now we got to jump all the way back.
Rewind.
Rewind.
I was going to make the sound and then I realized.
What's a rewind sound?
Yeah, that will work.
Is that?
I don't know.
No.
Give us a rewind sound. Come on, sound booth.
You can even do it with your voice. What's rewind?
Just a sec, screening a call.
Oh, who knows? Okay, we need to stop with the rewind sound. That's a siren. Anyway, let's move on.
So rewinding to, let's talk a little bit about this Chuck and non-ending situation with Bart and Lily, and finally Bruce Kaplan died, which is like, bum, bum, bum. Who the hell's Bruce Kaplan? And then we kind of remember him, and he's one of the only people who knew what Bart had done, and then there was somebody else, and la-di-da-di-da.
So do you want to take a call real quick?
Bring on the caller.
Bring on the color.
Hello, caller. You're on the line with Gossip Girl AfterBuzz TV.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Sarah. I'm from Crownsville, Maryland.
Sarah.
Hi, my name's Sarah too.
Wow, we got 2 Sarahs in the house. Okay, Sarah, what did you think of tonight's episode?
It was actually pretty crazy. I can't believe Dan has had this mischievous plan all along.
Do you hate him or do you love him and understand why he's being so evil?
I mean, I understand why he's being so evil, but if he really cared about Serena, he wouldn't have done what he did.
So are we hoping they end up together or that she moves on and back to Steven or someone else?
Honestly, I hope she ends up with Dan.
You hope she does end up with him?
Yeah, even though he's being a real big D-I-C-K.
But so how is he going to make up for this?
I have no idea.
We don't know
I mean,
either.
Serena is very easily to please, so I'm sure it won't take.
What are you thinking about the Chuck storyline? We're just about to move on to that, and we're talking about how he's finally convinced Lily that Bart Bass is a bad guy. Are we just getting bogged down with this and we don't really want to focus on this? We just want to focus on Chuck and Blair? Or are you liking the story?
I really could care less. I want to see more Chuck and Blair.
Oh my God, are you a Cher fan?
Of course I am.
Sarah, you're my new favorite.
Great.
The other Sarah's sitting in here like, what about me? Well, you're not being vocal about being a Cher fan.
You know I'm a Cher fan. It's in my heart.
I know.
It's in my soul.
Maybe I'm the only one, but I don't think so. I'm just so sick of this Bart thing. I wish he had stayed dead. It's such a mean thing to say about somebody, but it's...
I agree.
Yeah, it's just the whole storyline. It's like we have 2 episodes left. We're focusing so much on him. What vacation spot is Lily even going to? I was like, rich people problems. I've never even heard of that place. Like, where are you wandering off to? But it's taking up way too much of the episode. It took up like a half an hour last night.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
So what are you like? What storylines are you loving? Are you liking Nate and Sage? Are you liking best just Serena being ridiculous again and not knowing which guy to go for and who the rebound is really? Who are you liking best?
I really wish they would get rid of Sage. I wish they would bring back some characters. I really thought that Charlie Ivy was in cahoots with Lola.
Right.
And I'd really like to see Lola again.
And I think we actually might see her in the finale. I hope so, at least. Which would be nice. So I think I know we're going to get back Lil J and Eric, both of who they dropped hints about again this episode. One of the things was like, oh, today when I was on the phone with Lil J, or did you check Eric's closet? So I know that they're trying to make us remember who they are, and we're getting them back. I think Vanessa might be coming back, but that's
she's not.
That's only rumored. Juliet definitely is making an appearance at the finale.
Are they having a giant reunion party or something?
I suppose. I don't know, but Sarah's happy to hear that because she wants some old character back, and we want to get rid of these new freaking characters. Like, what the hell are you doing, Sage? Get out.
It's useless entering, having them come in so late. It's really pointless.
She says to Nate in the episode tonight, when he says, you know what, if you don't want to be with me anymore, that's fine. She says, are you kidding? Now you're the good guy and the bad boy. I'm not going anywhere. I was like, you're such a little brat.
Like the mini Lily.
Who says that out loud? Anyway, Sarah, any other final thoughts about the episode, things that you're dying to share?
Just one last thing. I am almost, I don't know, I'm really good at predictions, but I really think Chuck is going to die in that plane crash.
You think he is going to die?
I don't think he is at all.
You don't? Oh my God. I thought you said you did think so. I almost started to have a heart attack. That would be miserable. No, I agree. I don't think so either. I think that would be the worst ending.
I would be so upset.
Obviously.
Oh my God.
It would be a disappointment for all Gossip Girl fans. I don't think they couldn't come back with another season, even if they wanted to.
It would have to be like a Romeo and Juliet type thing where Blair then died some way passionately too. Like, if one of them's around, the other one's got to be there, or I'm going somewhere.
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Sarah, thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, thanks.
And hopefully you'll call in next week. Keep listening, and good night. Okay, so moving on. more about this Nate situation with Sage. So Sage comes back, and in like 0.2 seconds, they're like hooking up all over the place, left and right.
Of course.
Whatever. While Nate's trying to do some code-breaking huge thing for Chuck, but at the end with Nate, we see that he still owes Bart something, and that Bart is collecting. So what's gonna go on here? What is Bart using Nate for this time?
I mean, I'm hoping that it just isn't connected to Lily, but it's so implied that Lily's kind of in danger at this point.
Right.
But I feel like that's the only direction Bart has to go.
And we
But
know
I don't
somebody
even think
dies.
he could reach. I don't even think he could get Nate in that boat. You know what I mean?
Did you used to watch OC?
Yes.
Do you remember when Marissa died and everybody was like, what the hell just happened? If this does that, like if it is somebody other than Bart that dies,
What are you going to do?
I just don't know.
Well, it can only play out in so many ways. I mean,
Okay, let's talk about it.
We know there's a plane.
Right.
So one thing is obviously that Lily's going on vacation. It could be her plane, maybe.
But we
Can it?
see in the
Oh,
previews for next
right.
week, we see Chuck getting on and Blair's
There
like,
could be
don't get on
multiple
that
planes.
plane. That's true.
There's not just one plane in the
And
world.
we know that there's a plane crash, but we don't know the person who dies is in a plane crash. Those could be two separate events.
And that's probably what they're going to do. They're probably
Right.
going to have Chuck's plane crash, but Chuck won't die, but someone else will die at the same time the plane crash is happening or something. But it's probably either Lily, Bart, or Chuck.
Lily, Bart, or Chuck. No Rufus, no Charlie Ivy.
I mean,
What if they bring back Lil J and then kill her?
I think that might make certain people happy.
Let me go through this. So what the hell didn't we talk about? Steven rejects Serena's phone call in the end. I would too. What the hell is she thinking? Lily's fake sorry when
And
Bart
she's scared.
and Bart like kind of strangled her for a second and she's like, you're hurting me. Georgina getting in the elevator with Dan and being like, you want them to fear you, and he's like, they really do.
No, he's like, do they hate me? And she's like, no, they fear you, or something like that.
Right.
And he's turned into one of them, which I guess was their plan.
And of course, leaving the very end moment to last, which is Chuck calling up Blair and her rushing over. Oh, by the way, she couldn't get into Empire before because he said no, and Chuck was a mess at the beginning, and how sexy is he when he's on an all-liquid diet? Oh, there's nothing more that I love than a non-damsel in distress. What is it?
Damsel.
A non-damsel in distress. What is he? What can we call him?
A knight in distress?
A mamsel?
A mamsel. A mamsel in distress. Oh, I would absolutely join his.
You would rescue him.
Oh my God.
Roxy would be running to rescue him.
No, I would be laying down, cuddling, rescuing, love. But he says to Blair, "Will you go to war with me?" And she says, "I thought you'd never ask." And that's how the episode ends. So, it ends with the final chapter, but that's how the two of them end. So now they're together, and she was the one who pulled them out, and it's so sweet, and then they're finally learning to work together.
And to think, just last episode, he broke up with her.
So bizarre, how bizarre. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Ooh, baby.
90s music.
Hashtag I love the 90s. No,
90s baby.
such a 90s baby. Okay, so let's move on because we covered the episode, the not so interesting, but could be just setting us up for the next two episodes. I mean, if we don't have a killer next two episodes, that's that. So,
Well, we do have a kill next 2 episodes.
no, a killer, like amazing.
Oh,
There
there we go.
How's that? My voice is good tonight. Ooh, babe.
No,
Oh, no.
It's not there.
And do the wave. Oh, you want to do a wave?
Can we do a 2-person wave?
Go. We need our team here. Okay.
Thank
so
you
let's
for
move
the
on
musical interlude.
to some news and gossip, which really there is.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, and by news and gossip, I mean like really there's none. honest to God, these people were hiding under rocks this week, but here's what we've got. Finally, we know. Was that a...
That was a laugh.
Did I get a laugh?
You did.
Yeah. He's like, no, I was laughing at something else. Okay. So we learned a little more about the finale and the order of events. We know that the show is opening up with everyone saying goodbye in a look at the show's most unforgettable moments. So flashbacks is how we're opening up the finale. We also know for certain now, and we already said this, we already gave this news and gossip, but because it got leaked so early, they had talks about changing it, but they are 100% identifying the real Gossip Girl. So,
Great.
that's for sure. Other than that, we've already talked about everything else, the weddings, etc. But in honor of the flashbacks they're having, I looked up online the top moments of Gossip Girl so far. This was one blogger who I have to say, I don't know whether I've lost all my brain cells, but I don't remember half of these events. Let's go through them and see if you can help me out. Number 1, Georgina roofies Serena the night before the SATs. That sounds interesting.
It's just bad because I'm like, wait, how many times has Serena been roofied? And like, of
Exactly.
course, I like have these images of her on a bed, like passed out, and I'm like, nope, that was Juliet. Oh wait, was there another time? Like, it's like, how many times have these things happened that I can't remember who did what?
And the SATs were so long ago. Now we're in college. Okay, Catherine blackmails Nate into continuing their affair. Okay, exactly. Vanessa steals Nate's letters to Jenny and then proceeds to secretly date Nate. Vanessa, you crazy bitch.
She likes to steal things.
That bitch be quick. Jenny takes over the event held to honor Lily and Bart and has a gorilla fashion show. That sounds like something Jenny would do. Blair writes the name of the man Serena killed on a paper to be read out loud as part of a game at the dean's house at Yale. This Serena killing somebody storyline, like, what, like, oh, you know, goodbye. I guess we just never mentioned that again. Jenny is influenced by the mean girls to humiliate Vanessa at the snowflake ball.
These are all so typical. I mean, they're great.
Georgina plans to make a Serena sex tape and instead captures her killing someone.
Well, I don't remember the back of that.
I don't remember that either, but it's humorous that now Georgina actually did release Serena's sex tape, her and Sage both. And the last one just simply said, Jenny starts dealing drugs.
This is what I have to say, though. I don't believe Chuck and Blair were mentioned in, like, any
That's
of
why
those
I'm going to come back next week with my own ones and gathering more. These were just some that I thought would be fun to discuss. Like, how much has happened in the last few years? So much. How much do you love me? So much. This much. Show me.
This much. My arms are larger than yours, so I win.
So you love me more.
Exactly.
XO, XO.
You have to do an O.
This is an O.
We're making hand motions for those of you who cannot see.
That's an O.
But how much we love each other and Gossip Girl.
XO. XO. Okay, anyway, so that is the news and gossip. For the first week of December, I would give you the date if I knew it.
December.
It's the 4th.
There we go.
Steven!
Victoria's Secret fashion show tonight.
I know! So I texted the boy that I've been hooking up with recently, and I was like, Victoria's Secret fashion show tonight? And he was like,
Our systems detect that a host has wandered off the subject. Please
fine, then I won't
We're
tell
talking about television.
Then I won't tell you the end of the story. Now you'll never know.
Steven, we need
Beg
approval.
to hear it. Okay.
Nah.
Fine, we'll just move on to predictions, you asshole. Just kidding. Much love to the booth. You know, you can't actually offend the people in the booth because they can make you sound real bad. If you wanted to, I could have like a chipmunk. He could just cut my mic completely. God damn it. Gotta suck up to the people doing the tech all the time, you know?
People who run the show.
Anyway, so on the next episode, what do we see in previews? Don't get on the plane, Blair says to Chuck. Plane off the radar. No communication.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum. You just had to show me up. You just had to show me up with your bigger bums. Uh-huh.
There's a lot of hostility. You have hostility with someone every week.
Do I? You're just lucky it's not you.
That's what you love me. Predictions, go.
So, we already predicted Dan's chapter is the final chapter.
I think it's about Dan.
About himself. We think Bart's gonna die.
I kind of think Lily's gonna die.
Sorry, no heads up there. Who's Gossip Girl? It might be somebody we don't know.
Wedding, don't we?
Yeah, we have a wedding.
So Lily can't die.
Supposedly we have 2 weddings. It must be Lily and Rufus and Cher, or unless it's Dan and Serena, which I don't think it will be. But we also, I also said a few weeks ago that we're gonna have a couple flash forwards.
Right.
So that's gonna help in the wedding and realistically what's gonna go on. Other than that, what's up?
I'm just hoping. I just had a really disturbing image. Can you imagine if they have like kids in their flash forwards? That'd be creepy.
I mean, you know they're doing a Boy Meets Girl. Have you heard that?
You mean Boy Meets World?
I mean Girl Meets World. Girl Meets World is a new Disney show they're making. Instead of Boy Meets World, they're doing Girl Meets World, and it's about Corey and Topanga's kids.
Well, I heard that they were having like a new one, but I didn't realize it was about their kids.
Yep, so maybe Gossip Girl will do the same thing, and we'll be on it as their children.
Whose child are you going to be?
Obviously my parents, Chuck and Blair.
They're gonna name her Stool.
And on that note, look at you, you made it funny. So you can't reach Sara Stretton because again, she doesn't have Twitter, so I'm just gonna have to do some shameless self-promotion at Roxy Striar. Hashtag Sarah get a Twitter. I actually get a few of those every week, which is really nice for you. I just don't text you because I don't like you that much.
Stacey doesn't tell me, so how am I supposed to know?
And of course, if you want Phil back in here, let me know and we will get him in. Jessica will be back here next week, and until then, oh my god, only 2 episodes left. We'll just be crying in our bedrooms. XOXO.
Sad, sad, sad.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.